Hi, and welcome to another Sunday Conversation. I'm Alan Masters. As you can tell, I'm dressed warm because it's a blustery cold day here. It's wintertime, and the holidays are coming. And I was talking to my wife the other night, and we were having this deep conversation about, words. And of course, my dad wrote a book called The Secret Power of Words. And she read me something out of the Bible about how the Jewish people, they used to, they still are, as a matter of fact, the Hasidic Jews and the kosher Jews, they're so worried about what they put in their mouth. And it says in the Bible, it's not what you put in your mouth that will destroy you, it's what comes out of your mouth. And I'm using my own words on that. But, what we say creates the world that we live in. And I talked a little bit last week about a simple little kindness, right? And thank you. A lot of you sent me nice little notes, and of course, the amazing amount of notes that have been put on social media from my father, astronomical. I suggest that you go to the Roy Masters Facebook page and check it out. It's touching. But the power of words, how you can speak something into life. What you do when you're talking to somebody and you tell them some truth, or you shine a light on something for them, that it all of a sudden inside of their soul, this light comes on and it grows inside of them, and it inspires them, and it makes them have better understanding about their life just from communicating. So, and I'll say it again, what we say, we speak life into action. How we communicate. Same way as when you're being mean or cruel, you take life away. And it's a sad thing. When you say cruel words, it's a little slice of death, versus when you say kind words and uplifting words, it's a little slice of life. So you have to be choosing carefully what you say. And so many of us, we literally just, what's on our lung is on our tongue. We just spit it out there. And for the longest time, I thought that was the best way to be. Unfiltered, just spit it out. Say what you have to say. And I think that for a while, I guess I had to live my life that way, to where I just was, I had the courage to say it, and I had the strength to back it up, and I would just say what I had to say, and, let the cards fall where they may. But as I'm getting older and as I'm getting wiser and becoming more mature, I'm able to filter just a little bit, like self-editing, as it's coming out, before it even comes out, as it's formulating, not in my mind, but, kind of in my soul, as it's formulating, how can I deal with this person, with this situation, with this person on the phone? It doesn't matter that I even know them or not. People react to your kindness or your anger or your frustration, your fear. The words that come out of your mouth and how you convey your feelings have a profound effect on people. So today, I think, I just focus on that, because as I'm learning how to communicate better from a more spiritual place, I find that I don't have to search so hard for the words. If I just kind of lean into what it is, they suddenly appear. And it has to do with faith. Because without faith, then you have to rely purely on your own intellect. Where when you have faith that your Father in heaven will power you, then what you say is also powered by your Creator. And it inspires, because it isn't you. It isn't just words. It isn't information, wrapped. It's like words that are wrapped around information, and you send it out into the world. Then it's like a paintball. It explodes on somebody, and sometimes they get hit with it and go, wow, I don't even know what to do with that. I don't know how to wrap my head around what that person just said. Versus when you take a step back and you listen to what God is putting in your heart, and then you convey that to the person you're communicating with, it changes it. It's an inspired communication. It's more spiritual than it is physical. It's not powered by rote knowledge and information, something I read out of a book or something I was taught in school. It's more spiritual. So I was going to go do one of my little short. I'm going to start doing some little short videos. Bear with me with the weather we're having here. It's not so easy. I wanted to go out and introduce you to my rooster. This rooster is hilarious. Just this morning, a friend came over and he says, "Is that rooster you're talking about?" And I said, "Yeah, that's him." And then is no more than he pointed at this rooster and started talking about him. And then he turned and walked away, and that rooster went after him. And it was hilarious. And I said, "Hey, watch out for that rooster." And the rooster, it's like it got right up to him, and then it stopped, and he just kind of did this little strut like, yeah, I'm the man here. And we started laughing because, again, it's a 7 or 8 pound bird. And it's just fearless. Here's these couple of 200-pound guys, and this bird is like herding us around. And I think, I learned something so valuable from that rooster, which is if you stick to your convictions, if you truly know what your job is. See, the rooster's job is to protect his little flock, right? And that is mostly instinctual to him. He's not thinking about it going, well, let me think about this as he's smoking a cigarette and drinking a cup of coffee. No, he's just instinct. He's the top dog, and he's got other roosters that he keeps at bay from his other chickens. And one of them, it's like all the feathers on the back of its head are all ripped off from being pecked at by this rooster. But his instincts tell him that he has to be the leader. He has to set the pace for the others, or they'll lose respect for him. And I look at life, and to me, it's as easy as that chicken pen, because so much goes on in that chicken pen. It's the strangest thing. Maybe it's just where I'm at right now. I'm just noticing so many more things. But that rooster, I got next to him, and I got this great picture of him cock-a-doodle-doing, and he wanted to be higher than I was, so he jumped up on this fence and he looked down at me and he cock-a-doodle-doo. And I said, "Oh yeah," and I pushed him off. And it's this little fun thing that me and this rooster are doing, and we respect each other. But life is so simple out on the farm. But it's the same kind of stuff. If you don't live the life that you're supposed to live according to your Father in heaven, who has a purpose for you in your life, and he puts that purpose in your heart, and it's up to you to follow it or not. It's up to you to ask him, "Father, is this what I should do today?" Kind of in your heart, not with stopping and people see you standing over there talking to the wall. I'm just saying that each day when you wake up, say, "Okay, I'm ready to take on my challenge." And ask sometimes when you don't know, because you're going to get to that point where you just don't know. You just don't know. I'm at that place right now. I have to do something, and I'm not sure what to do. So I can either power through it with will, but then it's my will, or I can just keep walking the walk and wait for God to show me what to do. Keep on asking. Okay, I still don't know. I'm still not sure, but I know you'll tell me. I'm going to wait. I'm going to watch. You'll give me a sign, or you'll tell me, whatever it is. Not that I have these kind of conversations, but just trying to articulate how I'm living my life right now. And as long as I keep my will out of it, keep it at bay, like, I see you, Will. I see you. Don't interfere here. This is between me and God. Then he will put his business in my heart, because I want to be God's conduit. I want to be his tool on this earth. But this rooster to me is so funny. I look forward to going out there and finding this rooster with his little chickens and seeing how he's going to communicate with me today. And of course, then you go out into your life, and there's people out there that are like that rooster. Now, people are much more dangerous than the rooster. And you have to be kind of once removed from how you deal with them. You can't just poke them and prod them and play with them a little bit until you get to know them, of course, then you can. But I have people in my life that I realize that I just have to keep walking forward in my life, moving forward, leaning forward. And as I do that, and as I do business dealings, and I know that I don't know, and as soon as I know that I don't know, and I say, okay, well, I'm going to wait. I'm going to just wait. I'm going to pause. I'm going to say, I need to just wait a minute on this. Let's sleep on it. Amazing things happen when you take your will out of it. And it's funny because I always thought I had to build my willpower. I had to build it up because I couldn't do it. You know the old saying, where there's a will, there's a way. Well, that's true with his will. It's not necessarily true with our own will, because then you become willful and then that messes it up. So you have to be careful how you read into these things, because we can all make excuses and saying, where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, well, there's a certain amount of truth to that. But what I try and do is I try and weave God into everything I do. And when I weave God into everything I do, it has a different outcome than the one that I would have expected. And it seems like it's always a better outcome than the one that I expected and maybe even was hoping for. It was better than I expected, and it was better than I had hoped for. So if my life goes that things are better than I hope for myself, wow, that's a paradigm shift of thinking. So in other words, I have to stop hoping for myself, and I have to stop putting out certain expectations of that hope of, I hope I can do this, because guess what? Since I was hoping I could do this, I may have gotten this, this, and this if I had just let his will be the one that I wished would have been done. Like, in other words, God, whatever you will have me do, I will do, and whatever it will be, it will be. And I will just live in obedience. And then when it happens, whatever it's going to happen, I go, isn't that interesting? Because that's what I wanted. God knows what we want before we even ask. God knows what we want before we know what we want. And I know that's kind of bizarre, but it's the truth. So what comes out of our mouth, we must really watch, because we are such copiers, copycats. We see something smart that somebody else says and we go, oh, that sounded smart. I think I'm going to try that. It's not original anyway, is it? Because if you're just copying somebody else. So what I'm trying to look to do now is to be original, which I don't even know if there's such a thing, because there's 7.5 billion people or whatever it is on the planet. And there's been billions more in front of that. So everything has been done before. And so guess what? I want to be authentic. That's a better word. Authentic. Because I just have to continuously stop myself from being an egomaniac, from being prideful, from being arrogant, from being willful, from allowing my body to drive my mind instead of my mind controlling my body, what I do and what I say. My dad's original book, How Your Mind Can Keep You Well. So at the end of the day, the battle is going on up here first. Getting control over this baby right here. This is all the horsepower up here. If there's such a thing as mental horsepower, right here. And I want to just strip away at myself, keep stripping away at everything that I've layered on. Because I've layered on this thing called life for my 60 years that I've been alive. I've layered on stuff that I don't even know. I don't know where it came from. I saw it somewhere. I copied somebody. I saw it in a magazine, on television, whatever it is. It's not me. I don't know what me is. You don't know what you is. So it's a journey, isn't it? To be authentic. It's a journey. It's a real journey. But I got to tell you, the closer I get to this authentic man that I'm supposed to be, boy, the easier my life gets. The easier it is to sit here and talk to nobody, but I'm talking to you in an empty room, because I realize that I have to tap into that flow that is a spiritual flow that comes from my Father in heaven, for my love of my Father in heaven, for the flow of wisdom, the flow of understanding, the flow of love. You can call it the universe, whatever you want to call it. And people have all kinds of crazy names for everything, but the reality is it's supernatural, because it isn't of this world. It's otherworldly. And I've heard that before, and it was in a negative connotation, but I get it, because it is otherworldly. It's not of this world. This world is kind of like a labyrinth made by somebody. Somebody makes the labyrinth. It doesn't just happen naturally in nature. And so this is a maze, a labyrinth, or whatever you want to call it, where we're just kind of finding our way through all the different, ways we can go in life. Some people try and climb over the wall. Some people try and go through the wall. Some people try and go under the wall. Some people get the dead end. They go back. They can't remember where they are. They're so confused. They're so frustrated that they go around and around in circles, and where they stop, nobody knows. But I want to be on this world, but not of this world. And the only way to do that is to completely strip away, like peeling the onion, trying to find out, who the hell is this guy? Who am I really? Who are you really? If you strip away and peel away at that onion, layer after layer, all of a sudden you get to the center of that Tootsie Pop, and there's that caramel chewy part in the middle. That's what I want to get to. I want to get to the caramel chewy part of me, because that is the core of who I really am. And I think at some point I'm going to peel away, and I'm going to realize that it's all about true faith, giving up to God, letting Him control the situation, because He's in control anyway, letting Him control it, being a conduit of His desires. And then I can start building back slowly. Because on this journey that I'm at right now, I just feel like that I just have to keep like, if I'm working on a house and there's 10 layers of paint, you have to scrape it off. And I got 10 layers of paint on this guy. Most of us do. I just got to scrape it all off so I can see finally the wood, and then I can build back from there. But it's getting easier and easier all the time. I see things quicker now. It's like I've taken off layers of dirt off my glasses, and it used to be everything was fuzzy, and I'd have to squint my eyes and look real hard. And now it's clear. And if I take my glasses off, wait a minute. It's even more clear, because I'm not looking through these eyes anymore. I'm looking spiritually in front of me. A whole different thing. I did one whole talk with my eyes closed. Woo! There's a whole nother world inside of there. It was very interesting. Very interesting. So the journey of life is such a blessing. It's such a blessing because it is so complex yet simple. We complexify it or we simplify it. But it's interesting to see how it's built and how there's kind of two architects. There's the dark architect always weaving his wicked web over here on the dark side. And there's God who simply shines the light so that you can see clearly the truth, right? So Okay, back to the world again. I can see a little clearer with my glasses on. But I don't know. I am enjoying life thoroughly. And you know what? Life's not easy. Life's not easy. But it's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. It seems that the more difficulties get thrown at me, if I can just remember, if I can say, oh yeah, here comes another test. Here's another test. Brother, sister, father, uncle, aunt, business partner, lawsuit, lockdown, COVID virus, presidential election, riots, fires, food shortage, starvation. Whatever it is, it comes at you. The fears are coming at you like raindrops. They're hitting you, and you can feel them. And each one has a little different something that just plucks away at all your cords of fear and doubt. But it's all there for a reason until you go, stop. Stop. And you are still. And in that stillness, you remember, you go, oh yeah. That's all a test. It's virtual reality. It's virtual reality. It isn't really God's life and the life that God intends for me. It's the life that I created for myself. I can't be mad at anybody else. I created it. You created that life you have. You did it. It's not your mom and dad's fault. It's not the school you went to. It's not the professor. It's not the boyfriend. It's not the girlfriend. It's you. You chose each reaction until one day you wake up and go, I got to stop this. I've got to stop the same insanity over and over again, expecting a different outcome. At what point do you have that aha moment, that tipping point moment? The scales of justice tip towards a new you. The you that it's going to take for 2021 and tomorrow, today, even later on today, is a whole nother you. You got to peel away at that onion. Peel away at it. Nobody else is going to do it. Nobody else is going to peel away at your onion but me. Because I'm telling you, you got to peel away at that onion. I know. You're thinking to yourself, who the hell are you talking to? You. It's funny because my father, I was always like, who's he talking to? Millions of people. Let's just say thousands of people. And here we are 60 years later, and I see that some of you leave comments, oh, I've been listening to you since 1962, 1971, 1968, whatever. It's just like, wow, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. He's talking to you. I'm talking to you. But I'm also talking to myself. If I don't listen to what I'm saying to you, it's a bunch of BS, isn't it? And I don't want to be that guy. So I'm peeling away at me first. I'm peeling away at me first. And I'll tell you another thing you have to learn how to do. You have to learn how to apologize. Because if you can't apologize, ain't nothing going to change. You have to learn how to say, I'm sorry to your loved ones. You have to learn how to say, I'm sorry to somebody on a bus. You have to learn how to say, I'm sorry to people that you work for or that work for you. Because that is the beginning. To be sorry, to repent, to be sorry for what you've done. Let it be something small in the beginning. Give it a try. Look somebody right in the eye and say, hey, I'm sorry I did that. And you know what will happen is they'll say, thank you. And that warms their heart. What you say speaks into life the world you're going to live in. So when you choose the higher road, the road of redemption, the road of being sorry for being an ass, most of us are. We don't want to admit it. We'd rather be dead than wrong. But when you choose that higher road, it unlocks something in other people. It unlocks something in you because you chose that right path. And then it has a ripple effect and it works on the person that you're talking to. And then they go home and do it to somebody else and somebody else and so on and so forth. Don't you want to be that kind of person that unlocks people from the pain of this world that they live in, that they walk around in this hypnotic state, that everyone is being cruel to everybody else and nobody gives a damn? So I think it starts with apologizing. And I don't think that's a really popular word in hell. I'm sorry. Because it's a swear word. If there's an F word in hell, it's I'm sorry or Jesus or both. So today's talk is quite simple. It's once again it starts with the rooster and my relationship with the rooster. And you could have a relationship with your dog. You know, that's another thing. Let's talk about that. So we have a little dog named Charlie, and it's my wife's dog. Her mom bought it for her. He's a nice little dog. He's getting old. And I'm not always nice to him. Sometimes I'm like, get out of here, Charlie. Get out of my way. And I call him Chuck. I'm like, come on, Chuck, go on. You know, it's an interesting relationship because the dog kind of knows. And my wife reads me something out of the Bible. She says, and God even knows when you're cruel to animals. And he remembers that. And I went, really? Oh no, I'm screwed. I'm completely screwed. 10 years of talking to Charlie. Get out of my way, Charlie. Impatient with Charlie. So I'm telling you, you got to peel away at your own onion and apologize. So I think I'm going to go home and apologize to Charlie. I don't know. Life is fun for me right now. Everything is God tickling me on the side. It's like, come on, knock it off. I get to this point where I enjoy understanding who I am. I enjoy understanding more about this life and how I've been reacting to everything in the whole world. And I'm now looking at it going, it's all right. There's nothing to that. And another interesting thing is the closer you come to the truth, just like the video games, and for you older people that don't know, when you play video games, the closer you get to the pot of treasure, the more zombies crawl out of the walls and out from under rocks. And they will do that. So the closer you get to the innocence of who you really are, the more the zombies are going to come out of the wall. The more the scary noises are going to be kind of like the bats in the belfry. You're going to hear noises and you're going to hear things. And it's all to upset you. Upset the apple cart. Don't be upset. Know that your Father in heaven is watching you. He's right behind you. He's got your back. But if you fall to temptation and you fall to temptation to be fearful, to be angry, then there's nothing he can do for you because you have chosen that way until you turn back around and say, God, I forgot. I'm sorry. Again, back to the I'm sorry. I need your help. I'm being weak. You got to turn back to God. That is the only way we're going to get out of this mess. Individually, collectively as a society, and as a world. We have to turn back to God. So anyway, here's just another day in the life and times of Alan Masters, talking about some of the silliest things. And I guess it's just life lessons, and it's I'm deconstructing of a man. I don't mind deconstructing myself right in front of the world because to me, it's the only way I can do it. It's the only way. I don't understand much of what's going on in other people's lives, but the more I understand about myself, the more I realize I don't have to understand what's going on and why this and why that and reconstruct the foundation of why they've built this crazy Tower of Babel. I have to go, no, you know what? Stop. Deconstruct yourself. Peel away at the onion. Say some of those swear words like, I'm sorry. And mean it. Because if you don't mean it, it's just words. But what comes out of your mouth constructs the world that you will be living in tomorrow. So, I don't know. I'm just watching. I have so much I want to say about what's going on in this election process, but I think it's a really good time to just step back and be very observant and watch. Watch. Don't let your intellect go crazy. Don't let your monkey brain take over. You can see it happening. Sometimes turn off the TV and sit in a dark or lit room. Close your eyes and just sit there in the quiet. And all of a sudden you'll start to hear the rooster cock-a-doodle-dooing outside in the field, a car driving by in the street in front of you, somebody in the apartment upstairs walking across. You'll start to hear things that you weren't hearing before. You'll start to see things that you weren't seeing before, because life is becoming clear to you again. And isn't that what we're all searching for? Clarity? I think so. Join me on my journey. I'll join you on your journey. We can talk about it. Send me an email, alan@fhu.com. And please download our app. You can get that at FHU Vision App. It's right here, FHUVisionApp.com, or maybe it's right down there, wherever she puts it. I don't know. But FHUVisionApp.com. And thank you for your contributions to the foundation. We are still continuously trying to reconstruct a more 21st century foundation so that you can easily find things. And if you had an old app and it's not working anymore, it's because we've replaced it with a free app that you simply have to go put in your own code, and then it's free and you can have everything that we have on there. So, yeah. Life is good, but yeah, there it is right there in front of me. The Secret Power of Words. One of the best books you'll ever read. So I'm Alan Masters. Until next week, please listen to our radio show, Perilous World Radio. We do it Monday through Friday, and it's a fun show. It's a fun show deconstructing what's happening in the news every day. So until next week, we'll see you then. And I will start doing these little short pieces here very soon, for sure by 2021. Let's get past this election thing. I will do a few between now and then. See you next week.